Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March 2nd, 2026 Board of Aldermen meeting. I just wanted to just give a quick little announcement before we get proceeded, because we've had lots of questions about tomorrow. And I just wanted everyone to know that we are going to be doing our best to get the results of the mayoral race out as soon as possible. That is our priority. The tapes for all the other races will be on the outsides of the doors, just like normal. We've had a conversation with all the election workers and a process on how we're going to do it following state statute. So we will be all set. Anybody who is running for school board as a write-in, I have notified the school that we will be tallying up those names on Wednesday. Our biggest concern Tuesday night is to get the mayoral race out. So I just wanted everyone to know that that's what our timeline is for tomorrow, okay? And good luck to everybody. So the first order of business is we need to elect a chair to proceed over tonight's meeting. Are there any nominations? Paul?
Nominate Alderman Donahue.
Second.
I'll move to close the nominations.
Second.
All those in favor of Alderman Donahue being chairman of the board for tonight, please say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Come on over.
All right, thanks everyone. Good evening. If I could just want to take two announcements before we get started. One, I just wanted to take a moment, if I could, to thank a group of city employees, because Saturday night, as many of you know, we had a water main break on Main Street just north of 4 and 7, and if any of you had driven through it, it was like a water park. And we had it was a 12-inch water main that cracked with water coming through the pavement. That was the first call about 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. The DPW was called and consisted of a number of departments, which was pretty impressive. The water department, the street department, the wastewater treatment plant, the wastewater collections, and the engineering department. So there were actually 10 employees working on replacing an 8-foot piece of pipe that was removed and replaced over a period of 14 hours. So on behalf of the Board of Aldermen, I would like to thank the Department of Public Works team and also their families for sacrificing these folks on the weekend. When I was just headed home and driving through it, they're all out there working on it. And also the Rutland City Police Department, which covered the intersections. It's a very, very busy stretch of highway, as we all know, as well as our Commissioner, Bob Protivansky. Thank you, Bob. So if you will, maybe a nice little round of applause for our Department of Public Works. Thank you. And it's one of those things that happens this time of year with old pipes. So we know that's randomly occurs and not at the most convenient time. So well done. Second announcement, we are live tonight. Thank you, William. PEG TV. It is a little bit unusual before night of election. So they have some rules and regulations that they have to follow with Comcast, and ask anyone not to mention specifically voting for them. So if there are any candidates in the room or anybody who supports a candidate, if you could just refrain from asking for anyone to actually vote. It is considered commercial content. They can't do it. If we get into it, they actually have to take the sound away, and we don't want the public watching at home live tonight, which is a luxury that we have this live tonight, to actually lose their audio. So if we could respect that, that would be great, and I thank you all very much. With that, additions, deletions, or other modifications to the agenda. Alderman Talbot.
Sorry, I'd spoken to a couple members of the Police Commission about adding Chief Prouty's contract to the agenda.
Okay.
So moved.
Okay, so that's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And that motion carries. Well done. Any other additions, deletions, or modifications to the agenda? There was a suggestion to, we have a lot of people here tonight. There is a report from the General Committee. We thought about possibly moving that up, if you're prepared for that, Mr. Chairman, and,
Whatever the board prefers.
okay, great. So we could have a motion to move up the General Committee report with Alderman Talbot to
So moved.
Second.
near the beginning of the agenda. Perfect. Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed. That motion carries. Perfect. And then, last but not least on this order of business, amendments and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, which was February 17th of 2026. Do we have a motion to move or amend? Alderman Talbot? Say your hand up first.
I was going to make a motion to approve the minutes as.
Thank you.
Second.
Alderman Copley seconds. Any debate, any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed. Motion carries. All right, we have communications from the mayor, and we have,
We just get public comment.
we're doing public comment before communications from the mayor. Sorry, Dave. Uno momento, por favor. Yes, so if we could have anyone who wants to address the board from the public on an item that's not on the agenda. Yes, ma'am.
Your microphones work because it's hard to hear some of the older people.
The microphones are only for the television.
Yeah, so these are dialed into PEG TV. They actually don't amplify. Yeah.
Some people are not speaking loud enough. Thank you.
Yeah, and when I can, I'll try to repeat what they have said if I can. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to public comment. Anybody here to comment on anything that's not currently on the agenda? Yes, sir. And you've spoken before, so you know the name and address for the record,
Zachary
please.
Pratt, 97 North Street Extension.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to say good evening to all. Renee Good, Alex Preddy. I'm here tonight to ask the board to consider taking up 3 issues. The upcoming election ballot write-ins, the city budget, and affordable housing. I request the board once again to consider setting the city budget at the same level as fiscal year 2026 of $25,828,060.38. The city budget details expenses. I'd also like to see detail of city revenues. Before I learned that Mayor Mike was resigning his election position as mayor, I was advocating for no increase to fiscal 2027 city budget. It is my opinion that the ex-mayor has not been sincere in the way he's been conducting governmental duties for the citizens of Rutland City, and has certainly left us in a rut, and as I like to think of it, a pit. Having taken over leadership positions, I have found that following in the previous leadership style of an organization direction has never worked for me. Therefore, I believe that whoever is elected mayor of Rutland will have her or his own vision and should be allowed to present the newly elected mayor's budget. In reading through the proposed budget of 2027, I have several questions that I would like to know about. First, item 107-10, Community Development Contract Services, RRA, Rutland Redevelopment Authority. The City of Rutland, Vermont, and the Redevelopment Authority has agreement on page 4, compensation, which states that the RRA 2027 budget will be $259,584. But it is also stated that if a TIF district is established, the RRA will be compensated $65,000 plus 4% per annum, or $67,600 plus 2 in-kind offices. Where does the $67,600 show up in the city budget? I'd also like to know what deliverables are expected from RRA. along with a budget detailing expenses and revenues. I think the write-in mayor vote, which the city clerk has talked about, is going to be moobarred, messed up beyond all recognition. And I say this for several reasons. First, who's going to be the handwriting expert that is going to decipher the write-ins? Since it is a write-in, there is the possibility of getting many different write-in candidates as there are voters or a winner who doesn't even live in Vermont. The city charter, Chapter 3, Campaign Finance, Section 651, Reports by Candidates, states that every candidate must file papers with a city clerk within 10 days of the election, providing expenditures and revenues over $25. That is straightforward and understandable. But what will happen to me if someone writes my name in on the ballot for mayor with me having no knowledge of being named and I didn't get the most votes? Will I be considered an unsuccessful candidate? Per section 652 of the penalty states in C, any unsuccessful candidate who fails to file a statement provided in section 651 of this chapter within 30 days from the date of election shall be prohibited from holding the office for which he or she ran for a period of 2 years unless excused by the Board of Civil Authority. In addition to the other penalties provided herein, a candidate for election who fails to comply with the provisions of this chapter shall pay a penalty of not less than $50, no more than $500. Is the city clerk prepared to notify everyone that is written in on the ballot that someone wrote them in and that they have paperwork to file with the clerk's office? On the issue of affordability, per the 24 census, the median household income in Rutland City is $57,675. So what might be affordable housing for someone in Rutland? Having watched the PEG TV, both the candidate forum on housing and CDAR event, it is in my opinion that there was so much BS spread that they should have been fined. To think that more people and housing is going to help the city is, in my opinion, a pipe dream. Having grown up and lived in Vermont for most of my life, I'll tell you that I've always had to travel many miles for work and find food, water, and supplies. I remember coming to the city to watch movies at the Grand Theater, shopping at Ames Department Store and the Economy, Montgomery Ward's, eating at Lindholm's Diner, stopping with my soccer team at Carol's Club Burger, and I love those, getting S&H green stamps at the A&P, having a car fixed in the middle of the night at Mix Mobile. To hear that we need more housing, more people, well, that means we need more infrastructure, which seems unaffordable to the taxpayers of Rutland City, especially with the money that is being thrown at developers. It was bad enough for me to see the farmland being destroyed for housing before Act 250, and I don't want to go backwards. Also, they do not want tax people that make more than $250,000 a year, because supposedly they won't come to Vermont. Well, they aren't taxed now when they're not shopping or coming here anyways. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for addressing the board. Okay, any other public comments not currently on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will go to communications from the mayor. David.
So thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The first thing I'm going to address is what you have in front of you on your agenda, and that is going to be a request to untable the previous mayor's nomination of Morgan Villa for the Rutland City Planning Commission.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Got that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any discussion on tabling that motion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Alderman Talbot.
Motion to circulate the ballot box.
Second.
Okay. Well, we have a motion and a second to circulate the ballot box.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt. There was a request to address the board on this nomination. I asked her to have a moment with you before the meeting.
Yeah,
So
she-
it's the board's pleasure.
Yep, she did. Sorry, I was going to have them start circulating
Okay.
what you talked, but actually, in second thought, why don't you speak first?
Speak first,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you don't mind. So this is the chair of our planning commission, Rebecca Stevens.
I'm Rebecca Stevens. I live at 35 Thrall Avenue here in Rutland City, and I am the chair of the Rutland City Planning Commission. Thank you, board, for agreeing to hear me for just a second. Morgan Vi is a nomination that we've made to sit on the Planning Commission. I got to meet Morgan a couple of months ago when she started to attend our Planning Commission meetings. With an interest of coming from an organization called Strong Towns that she'd been part of and having discussions around. And we really felt as a board that her voice would be a welcome addition. But what I'd also like to do is just a formal apology that if you did not receive her resume prior to tonight, we have circulated it to you. It was an unintentional oversight if you didn't get it in your inbox, but we have provided it for you, and I just wanted to let you know that her nomination is supported by the Planning Commission, and we had asked for it to come up in front of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, all those in favor of the motion to circulate the ballot box are? Aye. And opposed? And that motion carries.
In your right-hand drawer on the top.
Where are we hiding that?
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Are you going to count them? Treasurer Markowski is going to count for us. Thank you, Mary.
And Mr. Chairman, while those are being tabulated, I got a couple of quick things too. When I heard you talk about the Prouty contract coming up tonight, I did not hear exactly where you would place that on the agenda. If you're going to do it, I can do it now, or you can do it at the end, whatever you want.
Why don't we do that under, well, will we be referring that or?
The plan is, I believe, after talking to several of the aldermen, that is the motion that's going to be presented.
Okay, so why don't we finish, well,
I got it.
got the count, and then we'll go right back to you to
Okay.
refer that, and we'll take care of that. Thank you. Okay, by a vote of 10 yes and 0 no, you have approved the nomination. And the welcome to the board.
That's very nice.
Excellent.
All
Okay,
right,
let's go back
so getting back to Matt Prouty's contract, I have had a chance to talk to not all of the aldermen, several of the aldermen, and to the police commission. And I think what I was hearing was, instead of trying to get through that tonight, the night before the election, was to have that referred to a committee of the whole with having a lawyer with us at the same time to have a discussion about that contract in and of itself. So that's what I'm requesting.
So I'll move to refer to the committee of the whole and request that also the contract is sent to Matt Bloomer, and that Matt Bloomer is present when the committee of the whole meets.
Excellent. And we got a motion and a second. Everybody understand that motion? And any debate? And we'll go to Alderman Gillum.
I would like the friendly amendment to make sure we do this by the next meeting. I know we're reorganizing, but I think, we should have this ready in 2 weeks for the next meeting, if we could.
Is that acceptable to the maker?
Well, it's acceptable. I think it's going to be more the attorney's schedule than possibly ours.
That would be the target?
Right.
Okay. I think we all understand that. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. And opposed. Motion carries.
Okay, and just lastly, I wanted to wish everyone, all the candidates that's going to be up for election tomorrow, good luck. Anyone who stands up for election, my hat's off to them. Appreciate your willingness to do that and to serve the city of Rutland. And I wish you all very good luck. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're on to consideration of special event permits, and we have the HPC, Homeless Prevention Center, Spring Sprockets and Walk It's at Pine Hill Park, Saturday, May 2nd, 2026, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Anybody here tonight from
No.
HPC?
Nobody was going to
Nobody's
be
here.
able to
Okay,
attend, yeah.
no worries, but everyone has that in the board
I'll
packet.
move to suspend the rules.
Second.
All, I don't know if we have to debate that, but all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Okay.
And I'll move for the approval of the special events permit of Spring Sprockets and Walkets for May 2nd, to begin at 10 a.m.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. All right. We are on to reports and letterheads from departments
Are we
and
doing,
officials. Do we want to go to the standing committees next? And does that work for you?
General, sure.
Okay.
All right, the General Committee met on February 24th, 2026. Committee members present were myself, Alderman Coopely, Alderman Adams, Alderman Clifford, and Alderwoman Taddeo. Other officials present were Alderwoman Davis, Mayor Dunges, Planner Vove, and Alderwoman McClure, and 17 members of the public. The committee met to consider a proposed resolution regarding federal immigration enforcement activities. The draft resolution was based on language from the mayor's recent executive statement and Vermont House Resolution HR 12. Committee's members expressed differing views. Some stated that immigration enforcement is a federal matter outside the jurisdiction of local government and questioned whether a symbolic resolution would have any practical effect. Others emphasized the importance of speaking out on issues affecting residents' safety and sense of security, noting that a resolution could reaffirm community values even without legal force. The meeting included extensive public comment. Numerous residents spoke in favor of the resolution, describing fear and uncertainty among immigrant and refugee communities, and urging the city to make a clear statement supporting constitutional protections, due process, and community safety. Several speakers referenced Rutland's prior Declaration of Inclusion and other statements affirming the city's welcoming character. All recognized the purely symbolic nature of this resolution. Discussion focused particularly on language in Section 2 of the draft, which addressed identification of federal agents and the presentation of judicial warrants prior to entering private residences. Possible amendments were discussed, but the committee ultimately considered the resolution in its existing form. Following debate, a motion was made and seconded to recommend that the full Board of Aldermen adopt the resolution. The committee voted 3-2 to advance the resolution to the board for further consideration, and I so move.
Second.
Thank you. It's been made and seconded. All those, any discussion first on the committee or any questions for the chair? Okay. Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
The meeting adjourned at 6:27.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Okay, we have some more of that, but I think we're going to just jump back to where we were with reports and letters from department heads and officials, if it's okay. And we'll start with Commissioner Protivansky. Bob.
I just wanted to acknowledge the retirement of Tom Harte, who was the street department foreman for the last 22 years. He was responsible for plowing snow, keeping the streets clear in the winter, and building sidewalks and paving in the summer. You'll see him at every special event, making sure it's set up safely. Really dedicated. Tom is kind of his work ethic is unmatched, and he led by example, and he was a great mentor to everybody. So yeah, after 22 years of service, I think many sleepless nights, he deserves a long retirement, so I just want to congratulate him.
Bob, I'd like to recognize Alderman Clifford, if I could.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, along those lines, Tommy just wrote something. I've known Tom Harte since 1986. We both worked together for a place called the Vermont Waterworks Company, which is owned by the Belden Company. Tom was a Castleton College student working part-time. Over the years, we became great friends, and we still are to this day. One of the things that I always admired about Tom was that he did have a great work ethic. He said, never complained, always showed up on time, and he gave 110%. When I was DPW commissioner in 2004, I hired Tom as a truck driver for the street department. Over the years, Tom was promoted to foreman. He led the hot mix crew and the sidewalks crews. And again, Tom's work ethic made him a great leader. That type of leadership is hard to find, and the city will miss him. I wish him the best of luck in his retirement, along with his wife, Debbie.
Excellent. Thank you, Alderman Clifford. Anything else further about that? If not, I'll go to Alderman Gillum. Oh,
Did you
go ahead,
want to
Alderman
say
Gillum.
some more?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion that the president, whoever the president is next, send a letter on our behalf from the board and thanking him on a good job. I think that would be appropriate.
Okay, let's make that in the form of a motion so that
It
we
is a
can,
motion.
I'll second.
thank you. Any discussion on that? I think not, right? All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And I'd like the record to note that unanimous. Thank you very much. Excellent. Bob, thank you. Yeah, yep. Okay, Director Ellen Coyle, RFP, on the recommendation for sourcing candidates for city attorney.
Hi, everybody. Good
Hi,
evening. I actually have two parts to this. So I'll start with the first part is that we did put out an RFP to find a recruiting firm to continue the search for a city attorney. We had 4 responses, 3 of which were timely, 1 which missed the deadline. We reached out to a 5th organization as well, and they declined to send in a proposal. But we were hoping to get a more robust response. Of the responses, we've had prior experience with Gallagher Flynn out of Burlington, most recently with the recruitment of the executive director for the RRA. It's the recommendation of the Finance Committee to accept the proposal that was presented by Gallagher Flynn.
Okay. Any? Go ahead, Alderman Talbot.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Oh, right. Okay, all those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the RFP submitted by Gallagher Flynn as recommended by the Board of Finance. Is that correct? Board of Finance?
Yes.
Second.
Thank you. Okay. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, just real quick.
Please.
Board of Finance recommends Gallagher Flynn for a lot of different reasons. I think that their presentation was what we were looking for, but they're also an in-state organization rather than a lot of the other ones were from out of state. We wanted to keep that as close to home as we could. And they're how we work down here.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Okay. Any further discussion? Alderman
Thank you,
Clifford.
Mr. President. Just a question. How soon will they be taking the reins?
Once we have approval from you, we can start working with them. We've already spoken with them. We've just been waiting for this meeting.
Okay, and how, will there be, was there any discussion of, will there be actually an attorney present at board meetings?
We haven't gotten that far in the process yet. Pardon? They are allowed to? I didn't know that. So you're asking for after an attorney's put in? Am I correct in what you're asking for?
Yes.
So that is part of what we have built into the job description, and that's part of what I believe is in the charter.
Yes.
So then that, I'm assuming, would be part of the responsibility of the individual who's hired for the
Great.
position.
Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Anything further? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And that motion carries.
Thank you so much for that. Now, part two, I'm going completely off script. Sorry about that. During the conversations with some of the recruiting firms, Gallagher Flynn being one of them, they pointed out the difficulty in finding candidates due to the current structure that the city charter has with having the city attorney be appointed. And I'm requesting the board to consider having Charter and Ordinance Committee determine whether it might be in our best interest to consider amending the charter so that the attorney's position is either contracted or hired rather than appointed. That may help us if we run into a situation like this in the future.
So,
I'll make a motion to refer the matter to Charter and Ordinance.
second.
Thank you.
And if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, please.
I did bring this up before because I think that's the we've seen opportunities when we feel that we have a stable city attorney, and either the board disagrees or the mayor, who happens to be the mayor, disagrees. So I think it is difficult to find a good candidate with municipal experience when you're an every 2-year appointment. So I support that 100%.
Anything from the chair of the Charter and Ordinance Committee?
Nothing from me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hearing nothing else, please, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you,
Okay,
Ellen.
thank you. Thank you for letting me go off script.
That's fine, all right. That was a good one.
All right, now we have Sean Adkins up next from the Rutland Redevelopment Authority, Executive Director, regarding the LIFT grant. I'll let you describe the opportunity here for us.
Yes. You gotta watch out for Gallagher and Flynn. They found me, so temper your expectations. Real quick, I would actually also like to go off script very quickly. I tried to poke my head in during public comment. I would actually like to just put my foot down, stand up for city staff. A lot of the narrative around the write-in, I think, has, I would like to think unintentionally, thrown city staff under the bus by insinuating things are chaotic in the city, and I can vouch. I work here every day. They're not. I work with every department, and I haven't seen one thing change since the resignation of Mayor Dunges. So I would just personally like to vouch for my fellow City Hall individuals, and the city's in good hands. Regardless of who you vote for, we're going to be all right. So, sorry to go off script on that one. LIFT application. I believe Joanna is here. Yes. At 69 Allen, right? Yeah. 69 Allen, Suite 3. If you'd like to come up and talk about your project, I think that'd be fantastic. We got to start looking into the LIFT funds, by the way. This is getting used up fast. That's a good thing.
Hello, I'm Joanna Gould, and I own Willow Collective, a company that purchased an office condo, 69 Allen Street. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor, and I'm planning to practice from that office and also rent to other mental health wellness professionals. It will be 4 offices total. It's a building that has been vacant for at least 3 years. Used to be, I think, ENT office, and it needs complete interior remodel to be suitable for my purpose. So learning about this application, I felt like it was a perfect purpose for what I'm doing.
Excellent. And Sean, I think this has been all through the Rutland Redevelopment Authority Board of Directors and comes with your recommendation?
Yes, unanimously.
So this is on the agenda, so we don't have to suspend the rules, am I right? So do we have a motion to approve or not?
We do need a motion to suspend the rules.
We do have to suspend the rules, okay.
It hasn't been to committee.
Yeah.
Right, got
So
it.
motion to suspend the rules.
Yes, okay, and a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Thank you.
And I would make a motion to approve the LIFT grant to Water Willow Collective Limited, Joanna Gould for the $10,000 for the total eligible expenses associated with the renovation and construction at 69 Allen Street, Suite 3.
Thank you, Alderwoman Taddeo. And seconded by Alderman Talbot. Any questions for, I would say, our Executive Director of the Rutland Redevelopment Authority, Sean Adkins? Any questions for Sean on this, representing your board, et cetera? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And that motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah. Best wishes. Congratulations. Okay, moving right along. Treasurer Markowski.
Hi, everyone. Just a couple of things from the office that I had on the agenda tonight. I've been working through some of the projects I've been working on, and I fell a little bit behind on some compliance things, so I wanted to get this material to you tonight. The first thing that I had was bond post issuance compliance reporting. So we're required to report compliance matters on all of our borrowing to the bond bank by December 31st. I'm a couple of months behind, and I apologize for that. I have been working through these things, but this post-issuance compliance is really a responsibility of the Board of Aldermen. The Treasurer's Office does the reporting and stuff, so it's really important that I report to you that I have completed all of those reports. I put some attachments in there so you could see what kind of questions for each one of the bonds that we have. It's really important when we take out debt that we are finishing the projects that we were voted for. So we're looking for that, and also spending those dollars. You have 3 years to, once you borrow, to expend those funds. So just monitoring that, keeping the files complete. I work really closely with the city engineers on a lot of these projects. So between the treasurer's office, the engineer's office, we're in compliance and keeping all of the documents. But also one thing that I wanted to highlight is that we have 4 bonds approved that we have not borrowed yet. So you'll see those come through, because Meadow Street, there's a small amount. Anybody who was here 2019, there was a large borrowing for CSO projects, sewer infrastructure projects, and that was included in that. So you'll see that soon. Also a Moonbrook project that was approved by the voters in 2023. Structures, infrastructure, culverts, you'll see that one that was approved in 23. So that's for the Lincoln Avenue, I think it is. Yeah. And then there's the CIP, the Capital Reserve Fund bond that was approved last year. So there's still a little bit over $2 million on that one that we just haven't borrowed yet. So just wanted to share that information with the board, with the public. So any questions?
Any questions from the board? No? Well, you're
Okay.
so thorough, Mary, that
Oh, okay.
there are no questions.
Well, very good. Well,
No action to need here?
no action on this, really just reporting, want to get it in the minutes and just reflect the compliance and the review. So that, and then the next thing that I had was, actually, I'm really behind on this one. This is the internal control checklist that I typically do when we're doing the city audit, but I must have gotten into some other things and anyway picked it up, and we need to do this. Should have done it by June 30th. So I'm sorry about that, but I completed the report. This one does require review of the board and sign off by the board chair, if you're okay with that. The audit, I just got the draft reports last week, so I'm still working on finalizing that. No real issues, but sometimes it's just hard to keep up on all of the things that are required with the reporting, so I apologize. And I do a little bit more on internal control matters with the audit, a more lengthy review of our control structure. So I thought I would report that out. So my request would be approval of the internal control checklist and sign off by the board if,
Or chair.
or the
Alderman
chair.
Whitcomb.
Yep.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Whitcomb.
And then Treasurer Markowski, you're looking for a motion to authorize the chair of the board to sign off on the, okay, so I move that the chair of the Board of Aldermen sign off on the internal control audit.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. And opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mary, thank you. This is really great information. I appreciate the effort.
Okay, well, thank you. And any questions, please stop by.
So, if I may, quickly, there was a lot of discussion when the water rates were set, why were they increased? And I think people forget the connection to the bonds that get approved, that get added to the water rates. So this is good information as to when those bonds retire and have an impact on the water rates up until those dates.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that can go on a website somewhere or your website somewhere, but I think it's helpful for folks to know it's just not an increase in water, that the approvable bond has a long-term effect.
Okay, yeah, I can see if I can get that on the website, on the treasurer's page, just more information. Mind you, I did not include capital leases because I was just focused on long-term debt. So I will report that out separately. I want to get a little bit more information out to you. Maybe I'll just attach that on the website. We have the we have some smaller capital leases for equipment, and then we have the JCI lease and I still call it the Fathom lease, but the water main lease. So those aren't on the long-term debt schedule, but I'll add those as well.
Thank you.
Okay?
I believe it was 10% of the bond this year contributed to the increase of the water rates.
Yeah, there was that $2.5 million water bond that we'll see. We've spent that down a little bit, but you're going to see some projects in the city related to that bond this construction season. So, yep.
Mary, thank you again.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Great work. Okay, we are back to reports of standing committees, and we're going to go right to Alderman Clifford for the Intermunicipal Committee meeting of February 12th, which, by the way, was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Along with Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Which is why I probably wasn't there.
Right. The Intermunicipal Committee met on February 12th at City Hall, Aldermen's Chambers at 5:30 p.m. Members present were myself and Alderwoman Davis. Others present were Board President Allaire, Alderman Copley, Alderman Gillum, Rutland Town Select Board Chair Mary Ashcroft, Selectman Matt Getty, Judy Delpha of Fireworks Over Rutland, Alexandria Perone, and Connor Pollard. The topic of the meeting was to discuss a collaboration with the town regarding the 250-year celebration of our country. Chairman Clifford handed out a copy of an email from Mayor Dunges indicating a meeting that he had with participants interested in sharing ideas for the celebration. Those ideas range from decor, events, celebration, and recognition. Two of the events described as committed were fireworks and a meal at the VFW. Alderman Gillum started off by suggesting that since a lot of local towns were having a celebration, that it might be good for the city and town to do something together. President Allaire added that at the last meeting of the Rutland Fair Committee he attended, there was some discussion of putting money away putting money in for fireworks, and the city could find some funding for the fireworks as well. He recalled that when we celebrated the bicentennial, that it was a positive event for the area and that we should get involved and do something positive again. Judy Delpha of Fireworks Over Rutland indicated that their goal was to raise $30,000 for fireworks. Mary Ashcroft indicated that the town was not going to be having their annual fireworks display this year, but said the town may have some money to put forward to the cause. Alderwoman Davis stated that having a celebration at the fairgrounds would give an opportunity for those people who have food trucks and other vendors to attend. Judy Delpha also mentioned that she had met with Robert Condon of the Rutland Fair Association and Paul Welton of the VFW, had some good ideas, and that Robert mentioned having the Vermont National Guard at the event. Also, it would be good to have the Rutland Fire Department there, but there was a concern about what that would cost. President Allaire, myself, and Alderwoman Davis indicated that we could discuss that with whoever the new mayor is after the election. Mary Ashcroft asked Judy Delpha how much her organization has raised, and Judy told her that they're about $10,000 short of their goal of $30,000. President Allaire indicated that the city had matched the Fair Association's donation of $1,000 toward the fireworks cost. Mary Ashcroft indicated that she thought the town could match that amount as well. President Allaire asked Mary if the town was planning to have an event for the 4th of July. Mary indicated that they were joining us. So Mary indicated that they did not have a celebration on the 4th, and that's why they had their town-wide celebration in August. Alderwoman Davis asked if the VFW or American Legion were planning anything, and that question was on the original list from the mayor's meetings. Alderwoman Davis suggested that we invite representatives from those organizations to the next meeting. Chair Clifford indicated that he would give the information to the mayor's office and let him or her know that we have met and had discussions. Mary Ashcroft suggested that perhaps the recreation departments from the town and the city could meet with suggestions on sharing facilities along with church groups and local musicians. Alderman Gillum suggested that we ask the city band to play on Saturday instead of Sunday. Selectman Getty said that the weather is always a gamble, but food and music get people out. And discussion was had about a rain date for the events. Alderwoman Davis talked about doing a Friday Night Live, and Chair Ashcroft suggested that we could have the Friday Night Live at Northwood Pool in Rutland Town. Judy Delphin mentioned that talk about a parade was floated and that the route be reversed so that ended at the fairgrounds. Alderwoman Davis suggested asking for food donations from local organizations such as grocery stores for the fairground events. Also to ask representatives of the VFW and American Legion to come to the next meeting and talk about the venues for the celebration. Judy Delphin thanked the committee for their participation for the event, not only the city and town, but Rutland County as well, and that the town of Killington gave a donation to fireworks as well. Chair Clifford stated that he will be in touch regarding another meeting. The meeting is information only, and we adjourned at 5:55 p.m. And just further, I did speak to members, people at the VFW and the Legion, and they're willing to come to the next meeting, which I'll probably schedule this month because we only have 4 months left to pull this off. So, thank you.
So, Alderman Clifford, that's a great report and really great news, frankly, to hear you guys coming together like that in the Intermunicipal Committee, the town and the city. That's fantastic. Alderman Adams.
I'd just like to provide a couple of updates in addition to this information. The first is that since this has occurred, our goal to go is actually down to about $7,300 for the fireworks. The second is that $7,300 to go does not include the contributions that have been promised by the city or the town. I don't count contributions until they're in the bank. If you could find a way to get me money, I'd appreciate it.
Well, that would be up to the next mayor.
Third, just thank you to everybody who's contributed thus far, and Fireworks Over Rutland's going to continue year after year to put this on, so it's not just a one-year thing, and hopefully we'll be able to, as a community, ensure we have fireworks for years to come.
Fantastic. Okay, now your report was just informational only at this point, and
Yes.
okay. All right. Thank you very much, Alderman Clifford. Fantastic. Okay. Any reports of representatives on the board? Petitions, letters, miscellaneous communications, no. Board of Control Commissioners, no. Board of Cannabis Commissioners, no. Unfinished business, miscellaneous motions, resolutions, or new business. Alderman Whitcomb.
I think it's technically new business again. I just want to refer to the Finance Committee, a memo from the city clerk dated October 16th, 2023, regarding the review process for social services on the city ballot. It was in the Finance Committee. I think during the transition of chairs, it got lost, and I know we talked about wanting to address this. So I just want to get it back active. It's expired since it was there.
Okay. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Any questions for the Alderman Whitcomb or debate? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Alderman Clifford.
If I may ask the board's indulgence to go back to old business. I did have something that I'd like to put out there.
Yep, we're still under unfinished business.
I would move to, regarding the mayor's resignation, I don't believe we officially, I don't know if someone could tell me if we officially accepted it, but I would like to make a motion to officially accept it.
Okay, do we have a second to that motion? Second. Okay, hearing any debate, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Any other miscellaneous motions, resolutions, or new business? If not, I would entertain it.
To adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, everyone.